All right, let's jump right in. Today, we're tackling a massive topic, one that literally impacts the entire planet: climate change. We're going to break down what it is, what's causing it, and most importantly, why it matters to you and me. So let's do this. Okay, first things first, we have to get our heads around the difference between weather and climate. It's actually pretty simple when you think about it like this. Weather, that's the outfit you're wearing today. But climate, that's your entire wardrobe, everything you own for every possible season. One is just a snapshot, the other is the big picture, the long-term trend. So, with that in mind, what is climate change? Well, it's a huge, long-term shift in those global patterns. We're not talking about a single heat wave or one crazy hurricane. No, this is about a fundamental change to the Earth's entire wardrobe. It's changing everything, from how hot it gets to how much rain we see, for years and decades on end. Okay, so the big question is, what's causing all this? Well, the evidence we're looking at points overwhelmingly in one direction: us. Human activity is the main engine here. Let's dig into what that actually looks like. And here are the main culprits, the big drivers. It really kicks off with burning fossil fuels, coal, oil, and gas, for pretty much everything we do. That's tied to just how much energy we all use. At the same time, we're cutting down massive forests, which are like the planet's lungs. And what's the end result? All that pollution acts like a heat-trapping blanket wrapped around the Earth. So all those causes, they don't just vanish into thin air. They trigger this huge ripple effect that spreads across the entire globe. And it's an effect that touches both the natural world and our own lives in some really serious ways. So let's follow that ripple and see where it goes. And this is the key takeaway, right here. This isn't some far-off problem happening to someone else. Its effects are felt everywhere. Everything is connected, from the planet's health to our own lives. You'll see what I mean. Okay, so let's look at nature first. It's like a domino effect. Temperatures get hotter, right? Well, that extra heat fuels way stronger storms, and it messes with water big time. We get these crazy extremes, either massive floods or severe droughts. And all the while, the ice at the poles is melting, which makes the sea levels creep higher and higher. And those changes in nature, they don't stay out there. They hit us right where we live. We're talking about more health issues from the heat and bad air. Our food and water can become scarce because of those floods and droughts. And for way too many people, wild weather means their homes just aren't safe anymore. It's a straight line from what's happening to the planet to what's happening to people. But it doesn't stop there. On top of the personal and environmental toll, there's a huge impact on business and the global economy. I mean, companies big and small are suddenly facing a whole new world of risks and disruptions, and it all traces back to the climate. And for businesses, it's this dangerous chain reaction. Think about it. Step one, a huge storm hits and work just stops. Factories close, farms are flooded. Step two, costs start to skyrocket. You've got to repair the damage, and the raw materials you need are suddenly harder to find. Step three, your supply chain breaks. A crucial part doesn't arrive, and poof, your entire production line grinds to a halt. The end game, business becomes a whole lot riskier for everybody. Okay, so we've laid out the problems, and it's a lot. But it's not all doom and gloom. The focus now shifts from the why it's happening to what can we do about it. Okay, so we've laid out the problems, and it's a lot. But it's not all doom and gloom. The focus now shifts from the why it's happening to what can we do about it. And there is a path forward, especially when we look at what companies and businesses can do. And what's really interesting is that the solutions are basically the mirror image of the causes. Remember the problem of burning fossil fuels? The solution is switching to clean energy. The problem of using too much energy? The solution is saving electricity. To fight pollution and deforestation, companies can cut their emissions and work to protect nature. It's pretty direct. Now, all of that might sound kind of big and abstract, but the good news is it can all be broken down into really simple, concrete actions. We're going to go from the big, messy problem to clear steps that actually make a difference. So let's get specific. That big idea of using clean energy, it could be as simple as this: using solar power, putting panels on a roof. Done. And what about protecting nature? Well, that can look like this: planting trees. Simple, powerful. And saving electricity? That often comes down to fundamental steps, like reducing waste. It's about being smarter with resources. And finally, cutting pollution? It can be as straightforward as using less fuel. See? Each of these is a real, tangible step that adds up. So if we boil this whole thing down to its essentials, here's what we've got. Point 1, climate change isn't picky. It really does affect everyone. Point 2, our own actions are the root of the problem. But, and this is the important part, point 3, companies can be a massive part of the solution. And really, that's what it all comes down to. This is a shared challenge. So I want to leave you with a question to think about. After everything we've talked about today, what's the one reason this whole thing really matters to you?